All right, it is time to study the next game, Fischer versus Shocron. This is at Mar del Plata, 1959. This will be the first Ruy Lopez. Fischer is playing the white pieces. And let's see if I can remember the moves. E4, E5, knight F3, knight C6, bishop A5. All right, then we get A6, the Morphy defense. Bishop A4. Knight F6, castles. Bishop E7, the closed. Rook to E1. And now comes B5. Bishop has to come back here to B3. D6, C3. The bishop needs some space to escape when this knight is going to come onto A5 and attack it. Castle, and now we play H3. And here comes the knight. And Black plays C5 to be met with D5. Queen C7, knight on B to D2. Shocron plays bishop D7. Knight to F1. Now this rook on the F file comes over to E8. Bobby continues with this very standard knight move. So the knight went from B1 to D2 to F1 to E3, very common. Chigorin wants to prevent the knight from coming on to F5 and plays G6. Bobby now takes on E5. Chigorin takes back. And this rook over here on A8 is coming over to the D file. Among other things that this accomplishes here with knight to H2 is to make room for the queen to escape. Now, bishop E6. Knight on H to G4. Knight takes knight, pawn takes knight. Now the queen comes up to C6, and the pawn pushes to G5. This is known here at move 20, this is known as Fischer's move, and based on the research that I've done, at least in my database, Fischer is the only one that ever played G5. The bishop really can't take the pawn because the knight will end up making a little journey from here to here and will have a slight advantage. The bishop on G5 will probably end up taking here on C1. The rook will come over here. So a slight advantage for white in those cases. And now black plays knight C4. Bobby's not interested in taking that knight. He brings his knight over here to G4. Bishop takes. Queen takes. One of the characteristics of this of these moves is that we now have a semi-open H file, which Fischer will try to take advantage of, and Chigorin will try to defend. And as Bobby comments in his notes, the knight arriving on F8 just in time. Bobby now plays B4. Shocron decides he would like to exchange queens. Bobby is not interested. Shocron advances the A pawn, which is now taken. Over comes the queen to recapture. Here on move 29, Bobby develops his dark squared bishop. Always play bishop to e3 on move 29. The queen captures, and now Bobby plays a4. Shocron brings the rook over. Bobby captures the pawn. He is not adverse to trading 2 rooks for the queen, but Shocron declines. Over comes the rook now to b1, attacking the queen. Goes back here to c6, and immediately Bobby attacks the queen again. This bishop to e3 is being put to work right away. The queen obviously has to move. Take and take. Here Shocron plays his rook to c8. Bobby brings the queen up. Now out comes the knight. We're almost at the end. The bishop to a4. It should be noted that this position is entirely equal. Only now will Shocron make a mistake and give a significant advantage to white. He probably does this because he believes there's a trap in the position. What he wants to do is he wants to induce white to play rook takes e6. And his idea is that he can then play his queen to c8, pinning the rook to the queen. That's his idea. To that end, he plays, rather than playing d7, he plays queen to d8. As Larry Evans comments in the preface to the chapter, he says, Bobby has seen one move further. So Bobby plays rook to e6. Shocron saw this, and now he's going to pin the rook to the queen. Queen to c8. What Shocron failed to see was this move, bishop to d7. What's the problem? Well, if the queen takes the bishop on d7, the queen, the black queen, is now undefended. And Bobby can play rook takes g6, check, winning the queen. So Shocron resigns. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you got something out of it. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more, go ahead and subscribe. All the best, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.